Hello, guys. It's been a while. So, a very simplified approach on using your KL, your key level. If you don't want to get things twisted, all right, I've used key level for 0 to 6 months or more. I've literally stopped using mitigation block, all right, because I saw that even if there's mitigation block and there's key level, price will eventually get to that key level, and key level offers a better risk to reward. All right. So for that reason, I just based on using key level, right? So, but how do you use key level? Because a lot of person will say there's a lot of key level here, key level there. Now, the first things first is to cancel the noise. If you watch, I hardly post trade again, and also even if I post a trade, you discover that the trade used to do more risk to reward over 1 to 5 risk to reward, right? Because I increase the time frame. So even if I get 1, 2 trades in a month, is a lot. All right. So in that regard, it depends on how you trade. That was because I trade one pair. But you can decide that okay, you want to trade more. So, but don't change the time frame. You can still base it on a higher time frame, the 4 hour time frame. Then add one more pair or two. You can be trading maximum of three. But make sure the most important thing is not just the number of pairs you trade. The most important thing is the time frame you are selecting your key level and your market structure. All right. Now, there's one thing about key level for 4 hours and market structure. You are almost always correct about the key level. All right. Once you don't miss one thing you must not miss is the order flow. Maybe next video I will take time to explain order flow again, in the sense that you should know order flow that is actually useful. All right. So now, if you look at one critical example of what I meant by order flow is that if you look at this place, let me see if I can get something to mark it. If you look at this, you see a key level here. All right. You see a key level here, all right? And then you see another key level at this top here. Now, someone will ask, why do we not use this key level? All right, it's order flow. Now, you were taught that if the first one doesn't work, the second one may not work. Well, why that may be true because of the absence of order flow. But once you understand order flow, you discover that it's not really true because you would skip this one and then use the other one. There have been times I posted a trade and somebody will be waiting for the first one and then there's one again there. All right. Sometimes price just use it to engineer liquidity and then take people out. So what happens here is that if you can be patient, all right, what happens here is that anytime you have, it's very simple. It's very simple, even if I'm not explaining the key level, the order flow yet, but it's a very simple principle. Anytime you have a key level here, all right, you have a key level, and then above that key level, you have another zone, maybe another key level with fair value gap. All right, with fair value gap, it is very obvious that price left that zone. The 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 chances that price will go to that zone is very high. So instead of you to choose here to put your pending order, like putting your pending order here and putting your stop loss here, it's better you choose here, put your pending order and put your stop loss here, because this is the last one. What we mean by order flow is that if this guy if this guy had come here before, this one would have been mitigated, then this one would have been the next valid one. But because it is not, but because it wasn't mitigated, this one here would only have to struggle with price. Now somebody will say, what if I'm waiting for this one and then this one now works? It's very simple. What you have to do is that you will box it. It's not like you won't box it. You box it, but you have to be very intentional about it. You box it because it's a 4 hour time zone. It's still there's a probability that it will hold. And for a fact that there's something like engineered liquidity here, all right? Now we are selecting this thing based on the fact that okay, I'm assuming you already know your structure, you already know your direction of your market, all right? So now you box this, you're like, okay, there's a zone here and there's engineered liquidity here already. All right. If that book actually treated engineered liquidity. So if you haven't read it, just check through it. And it treated structures. Although I will simplify structures for us later. Now, what you are looking at here is that okay, price is here now. As price is now here you don't have to set pending order. Set your pending order at this one because of the fair value gap and because this one has not been mitigated. This key level at the top has not what been mitigated. So set your pending order here, put your stop loss here. But then what you do is that you watch out for this place, especially when there's liquidity, engineered liquidity. Even this one could have acted as inducement. All right, can see it. So you just box it and wait. Once price comes in there, you can use your alert this thing and put it there. All right. Once price comes there, what you have to do is go to a lower time frame. I recommend 30 minutes if you are not very good with the market like that. If you are not very good with time frame, stay with 30 minutes for your entry. Right? Use these two time frame, 4 hours and 30 minutes. 4 hours for your zone, 30 minutes for your entry. Now, what you have to do is that you have to wait. Now, there are two ways you can enter this market. You mark the next strong zone. The next strong zone that you want to see market break. All right, you want to see market break that low because market is up. You need market shift, right? You need a break of structure so that you be able to enter the market. So you locate a strong low. All right, you want to make sure that the market breaks that low properly, like it breaks it with body, not with wick. It breaks it. This is a strong low. All right. If you understand your structure, discover that this is not a low. All right. This is the low here. So you need the market to break it. When the market breaks this, let me something. When the market breaks it like this, once the market breaks that strong low, now you now look for your entry. Now, what is your entry? You the same key level. Just look for a key level that has not been used. Now, you can find that key level in the 30 minutes time frame. Listen, no, you can find that key level in the 30 minutes time frame, the same time frame. Or if it's not in the 30 minutes time frame, you switch to 1 hour time frame. If it's not, you must the key level around here, it must be at this side of the market, not at this side. You switch to um 2 hours, 3 hours, even 4 hours, any key level there that has been established, as long as this structure has been broken, that's your key level for entry. That's the simple way to enter. No sugarcoating, no extra this thing. All right. Another way you can enter is the double top, double bottom. Now I will demonstrate this with us later. I will show us the actual entries because this is not a typical one. Now, like for example, this zone is here, all right? But in that double top, double bottom, you have to be very careful not to miss it. Then you have this one. This is not qualified double top. For it to be a qualified double top, this second one must clear the eye of the first one. All right, it must clear the eye. All right, it will look like a double top, but it's still a break of structure. All right, it's still a break of structure. So it's still a break of structure if you look at it very well because this was a low, it broke to the high, all right? But the only thing why it's not fully a break of structure is that sometimes this is just a week, all right? It's just a week. The second one is just a week above, all right? That's just the difference. So it may not be body break, it's just a week. Ehen. The same thing that applies, you look for what a key level around here that is clean. You know the kind of key level we use, all right? And then you enter. Same thing, either that same 30 minutes or 1 hour, 2 hours, 45 minutes, 3 hours, or even the same 4 hours, all right? You can find the key level there. Sometimes, even if you not see it there, if you are good with 15 minutes, you can still see a very clean key level at the 15 minutes. It's for entry. So that's it. Mind you, you must wait for the strong zone because why? One reason why you must wait for the strong zone is that there's a key level at the top and there's fair value gap there. That's why. All right. That's why you will not just enter based on that key level. Otherwise, price will spoof you out. All right. So now let me show us something. Let me show us something. Let's go back to 4 hour. Let me show us a typical trade, a typical setup like that. If you watch around this zone, I think this current one, you would have entered it with a pending order, which is nice. You'd have entered it with a pending order. Now, as you have entered it with a pending order, why did you enter it with a pending order? Because above there's no other zone above that is strong. Okay, there is no other zone above that is strong, right? Or that is unfulfilled, all right? So your order flow has stopped here. Why? Because this was an order block, right? This was an order block and price mitigated. So there's no fair value gap. Forget about the other block thing. The most important thing is that there's no key level above it with fair value gap. All right. So that's just it. So for that reason, because there is none, you can use a pending order. And yes, you are like with this is like 70% certain. Price will respect it as long as there's no one above it. All right. And that every other one above it has been mitigated. Right? Price will always respect that last one. But most important thing is the structure is correct. Mhm. So because if the structure is not correct, even if you respect it, to just do it for a moment and then would start returning back, just like this current one now, right? Price has not reached where I wanted to reach because there's even a fair value gap, but yeah, price still respected this, but then it's coming back again. Now, another example will be that okay, price has touched it too. So you missed this entry even if you did not enter it. You can go to a lower time frame like 1 hour, 2 hours, and look for another key level. Remember, the only time you start looking for key level is that you already know the source from a 4 hour time frame. Price is respecting the key level on the 4 hour time frame, but maybe you have missed the entry. You can go to a lower time frame and now look for your entry. All right. All you need to do is to wait for price to what break a structure. Look at this one. You can see how price broke this structure. And when price broke this structure, what did price do? Price price created what a key level here. Created a key level here. Now, if you check above, there's no key level above. Yeah, somebody will say there's fair value gap though, but this fair value gap is quite far away. And the closest fair value gap, this guy has already mitigated it, which is beautiful. I like to see things like this. You can see, look at, he mitigated it, that fair value gap. For the fact that I mitigated it, this is where I will now take my trade. All right. You can put your pending order here, you can put your pending order there, and your stop loss will be above. Are you with me? Now, if you think that the stop loss is too much for where you are targeting, you can use the 50% of the key level. So when you use the 50% of the key level, just hope that price will triggers it. Are you with me? Just hope that price what triggers it. That's it. That's when you have missed the first entry. You wait for the second entry. All right. So that's it. Now, but there are many times the second entry will take you in. So it's not a big deal to miss the first. Missing the first is usually because you did not spot it on time. Because if you're already following the trend, it will be hard for you to miss the first, right? It will be hard for you to miss the first. So the first is always important. But if you are following the trend, it will be hard for you to miss the first. Now, look at some examples of the trades we took last year. What happened here was that, where was it, sir? Key levels that were respected. Okay, look at this particular zone. Let's treat this one first. If you watch, if you watch, you see this zone, there's no fair value gap above. This key level was respected, even though this key level is on fresh. All right. Actually used this key level. If you remember last year, I waited for price there. So now, even if you did not enter it, because the stop loss may be far, you can mark it. All right. You can mark the key level. When you mark it, you go to a lower time frame, like I said, 30 minutes or 15 minutes, and then you wait for it there. Wait for it there. So as price comes and hits the key level, price hits the key level. If you check, you see price seem not to have really hit it that much, but if you check, you see here, there's another key level here. So you could have boxed everything. So what you could have done, how you could have taken trade here was that you would wait. You would have to wait for price to take out this low. And you see how price took it out. When price takes out this low, you now look for what? A key level and take your trade. Now, the key level that is here is on fresh. So price did not even get there. Now, this one, you probably missed it if you use the 30 minutes time frame. Let's check another time frame. So let's check another time frame for the key level for the entry, because now in the 30 minutes you have already discovered the break of structure. So what is remaining is your entry. All right, your entry. Now, if you check, you discover this is mitigation block. I actually entered with this long wick. All right, I actually entered with a long wick. The thing is that if you have, the most important thing is that you should be correct on why you are taking the trade, all right, where you are taking it from. And if you enter this trade, if you enter this trade, you would have put your stop loss here. Another beautiful thing is this, if you do not see your entry, don't panic. What you have to do is that, what I do sometimes is that if I don't see my entry, I'm not convinced with the setup. You see this fair value gap that is there, I will just box it. I will box it. What am I trying to look for? I'm trying to see price respect that zone. If price is respecting it, and then as price is respecting it, now give me another key level. That's what I will now enter. That's the key level I will now use to what? Enter, because price is now respecting that particular zone. All right, because price is respecting it, I'll now use that key level to make entry. This is 30 minutes. All right, I'll now look for another key level to use and make entry. Right, you can see this one, he respected it, and as he was respecting it, what happened? This key level is on fresh. You could have wanted to use it, price did not come to it, but there is a key level that I saw that price used. All right, I think price used this one. Price used this one. And why will I use this one? I will use it because price has actually fulfilled some obligation here. There's no fair value gap and actually no order flow. All right, no order flow there. Every other flow has been filled up. Okay, so that's it. Trading is most times sentimental. All right, most times sentimental. So if you can see, it's very clear on the 45 minutes. You see, It's very clear on the 45 minutes. So the key level there is quite very clear. Price did not touch it, but as this one dropped, all right, you could have started looking for your entry. Now, I think where where I first got my very good entry or was actually 15 minutes because I used 15 minutes and I also used 5 minutes, right? So, but I don't want you to confuse yourself. If the entry is not clear, if you are not able to take a pending order, all right, pending order is your safest. All right, pending order is your safest as long as you are correct with your this thing, you correct most of the time, 70% of the time. Then your entry again is that you wait for the strong zone to be broken, and then after the strong zone is broken, um look for another key level to make entry. All right, look for another key level to make entry. Now, if you watch in this particular zone, let's even assume that you could not see key level to make entry with. All right, because price did not come to them. Now, because price did not come to this 45 minutes, it's not a big deal. All right, it's not a big deal. What you have to do, because price did not come to it, what you have to do is leave it, wait, right? Wait. Because this price should have come to this 45 minutes, but it didn't touch it. Your stop loss would have been here and your entry would have triggered here. But price didn't touch it. Even though price didn't touch it until price went down, it now started coming back. You are not going to set a pending order here because price has gone far. It has gone far and the time frame is for 5 minutes. So the next thing you have to do, you have to look for a fresh key level again in that zone. You have to look for what? A fresh key level again on that zone. That's how you do this thing. Now look at this particular zone. At this particular zone, um, there's a key level here. There's a key level here. If you had even used 2 hours, you would have entered the trade set before. You see what I told you? So it's because I'm doing back testing. That's why I did not see it. But on a live trade, you would have gotten a trade there. You can see you'd have gotten a trade there. But Nana is now looking on fresh. So you can mark it because there is no more other flow to be filled. This place is already fulfilled. So you can mark this place as your next zone. So even if you are not entering it with pending order, because you enter with pending order when it's clean and there's no um fair value gap above. So even if you are not entering it, you mark it. When you mark it, look at how price as price came into it, you go to your lower time frame, all right? Go to your lower time. But me, I would have entered with pending order on that zone. Why? Because all the other flows above have been filled up. That's why I would have entered. So I wouldn't have missed it in the first place. But now, looking at you now, what you would have done is very simple. It's very simple. This is the new zone. So the new zone is here. Actually traded this guy. I was entering it step by step. Like that's what I used to pass the profit and whatever. I was just entering it as it's creating new zone. I'm entering it like in form of stacking, right? Like in form of stacking. So yeah, actually entered from this zone and put my stop loss there. But you may not have seen it. So that's why I'm saying that okay, if you couldn't have entered, you mark it again and wait for price to what shift. When price shifts, you use a new what key level. Use a new key level. I said from that 30 minutes, you can search like 15 minutes or search what are they calling it? Or search your what your 4 hours, 2 hours, or whatever. So this is actually a key level. All right, this is actually a key level. This one is on fresh. But if your Order flow is correct. Even on fresh is also good to use. So you can see price only wicked. So if you wanted to take this trade, this would have been what you'd have done. Put your pending order here, put your stop loss there. The same thing happened to this one. All right. Sometimes you not get that textbook entry. The most important thing is that you know that order flow is being fulfilled. I think what most people need to really learn is the order flow, how orders are getting fulfilled, so that if it's happening, you know, especially when you are trading on the higher time frame, 4 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. They are very solid. Once the order flows are getting fulfilled, you don't have to be scared. Even if it is what are they calling it? Mitigated key level on fresh, it holds. All right, because usually there will be a fair value gap. There will be a fair value gap before that zone. And then above that zone, there's no more fair value gap. Everywhere has been mitigated. And usually, it would have taken out liquidity. There's liquidity here, and it would have filled another order flow or mitigated a key level. So that actually makes it make sense. All right. So I will not really be able to cover everything here. For in my next video, I'll try to settle down and talk about just order flow, because understanding of order flow will make the key level concept easier. That you don't even need to verify your entry to make entry, right? And you'll be able to skip the key level that is not worth it. In fact, sometimes I'll skip a fresh key level and use an unfresh key level that is above, because that unfresh key level has a fair value gap. And so that if you even look, there's still a mitigation block in the same zone. There's still a mitigation block in the same zone. Things like that. Like this one now, you can see there's fair value gap here. You could have called here mitigation blocks, yeah, mitigation zone. But then you are seeing on fresh. You are see. So that's it. If you are just looking for just fresh without context, price will get to that fresh and break it. All right. So that's just it. Next time, take care.